Welcome back to the D&D Talk Wrestling Podcast, episode 17.
We got a special episode this week.
Yes, we do.
Not only are we talking about Backlash that happened, but there was also a tragic loss in the wrestling industry over the weekend. We lost Sabu on Mother's Day at 60 years old, I want to say.
60 years old, yes.
So we're going to end the podcast talking about Sabu because I feel like I was saying this to you. We did talk about Mongo McMichael, but I feel like Sabu is one of the first ones since us starting of like having an impact on us because we saw a lot of his career.
Yeah.
And we didn't just want to put it in like the news in the rewind. We wanted to make a special episode for him. So we figure after we talk about Backlash, we're gonna go and talk about some of the stuff about Sabu. Before we even get into Backlash, though,
I was a big fan of Sabu.
When you used to throw the chair at people, I would love that when you throw the chair like that.
I remember I had a bunch of, when I was younger, I had a bunch of wrestling figures, you know, like we all did. And it was those Jack specific ones, the little 6-inch ones. But I remember ECW had a line out, but I never got a bunch of them. I only had one person.
Sabu's.
It was Sabu. And yeah, he would just wreak havoc, you know what I mean? But his style was so innovative between the hardcore and then the aerial. It was like something you really haven't seen, but yeah, that's why we wanted to do the Backlash review and then do a nice little remembrance of him as well with this.
Giving the flowers.
Yeah,
too.
Giving him his flowers because I mean, the man had a storied career that started in. I'm looking at my notes because I don't want to make it wrong. Started in 1985.
Wow, I didn't realize it was that far.
Is when he started in the wrestling world. So, you know.
So that's just our little hint for later on. Before we get into Backlash, I did find these two little questions. It took me a little bit to get. I'm going to give you a minute and a half on each one.
Oh, I'm being timed?
I'm giving you a minute. I feel like a minute and a half is probably good enough.
I'm going to do it in 30 seconds or less because I never go longer than 30 seconds.
Wow. I'm going to give you the question and then I'll start the timer. So are you ready for the first one?
Yeah, let's go.
What 3 wrestlers... So when I'm done with the question is when I start your minute and a half timer.
Okay.
What 3 wrestlers have been on every PLE this year so far? Timer started.
Every PLE this year? Oh, wow.
I got one of the 3.
Cody?
No. Cody wasn't at Backlash.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Drew.
Drew is one. Drew's the one that I couldn't figure out.
Jay?
I said Jay. Jay wasn't at Chamber?
Okay.
I think.
CM Punk?
No. CM Punk wasn't on Backlash.
No, he wasn't. Yeah, you're right. Okay, I got to think. Gunther.
Minute left. Nope.
Not Gunther either?
Not Gunther either.
Oh my god, who the hell was on Backlash that I gotta go back now?
So you said Drew?
Yeah.
There's a tie with Drew. Not a tie, but there's a story. One person's a story with Drew.
Seth?
No.
Dom?
No. Close. You're getting closer. 35 seconds. 35 seconds.
Orton?
There's a feud going on with Drew right now.
Priest. Damian
Priest. There you go.
Drew, Priest,
and
LA Knight?
No. LA Knight wasn't on Backlash, yo. Backlash has 5 matches. Come on.
LA Knight was on Backlash.
Oh yeah, but it's not LA Knight.
It wasn't Jacob, was it?
No, it wasn't Jacob. 10 seconds. Do you want a hint?
Orton?
No. He's a champ. Cena, Drew, and Priest were the only 3 wrestlers that were on every PLE so far this year.
Wow. Right.
I feel like this one I might have to... I'm going to give you 2.5 minutes because it's more than 3 answers.
Oh. How many answers is it?
There's 8.
Oh, shit.
What 8 wrestlers, their first name and their last name start with the same letter?
8 wrestlers?
Yep.
First and last name start with the same letter?
Yep.
Oh, no. Wait. Is it
like
across all companies?
These are all they're all WWE.
All strictly WWE.
Yeah, I feel like there's a couple you could probably bang out really easy.
Wow, I'm like literally blanking already. This is not.
25 seconds. 20 seconds gone already. 30 seconds. I lied. 30 seconds gone already.
Why can't I think of anybody?
Bro.
Solo Sikoa.
There you go. There's one.
Okay.
There's another Bloodline member. Technically, there's 2 more Bloodline members.
Oh, Tama Tonga.
Tonga. Nope, not Tongaloa.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Because that's a TL. Damn it.
There's another Bloodline member, though.
There is?
Yeah.
Roman Reigns.
Yeah. There you go. You have a champion.
Why is this so hard?
This was hard. When I saw this,
so easy.
I saw this on TikTok and it was hard. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't get Tama Tonga. You have actually 2 of them are champions on Raw.
2 of them are champions on Raw.
Tag team champions on Raw. You have a minute left.
Kofi
Kingston. Halfway there. There's another tag team champion on Raw.
Wait, Xavier Woods.
Nope.
Oh, the women. Raquel Rodriguez.
There you go. What do you got? 5? You got 3 more.
5.
I don't know if I can. I don't know what hints I can give you without strictly giving it away. I can't even say they were all NXT because basically everybody was on.
Mike
NXT.
Mizanin?
No.
That counts, though.
He doesn't go by Mike Mizanin, no.
Oh, damn it. Okay, whatever.
So you got 2 females and a male in 15 seconds.
Left, that's it?
Yeah.
Oh, man, I'm not getting this.
Mommy.
Oh, Rhea Ripley. Yeah, you're right.
With Seth.
Braun Breaker.
And overrated. Bianca Belair.
Oh, shit. Wow, that was hard.
That was hard. When I saw the TikTok, immediately I was like, Rhea Ripley. And then I'm like,
Yeah, like, these people are like main eventers. And
I saw that and I was like, oh no, I'm definitely asking him those.
I like that.
Yeah.
That was fun.
I find random things on TikTok like that.
I love random things like that.
Oh. Like, there's a lot, I don't know, we could probably incorporate into an episode, but there's a lot of, like, speak when you hear a better wrestler than, like, on the mic than, like, The Rock, and then I just name a bunch of people. Or, like...
That's easy.
Or there's, like...
Me.
Oh, God.
What?
I forget the other one, too, that they do a lot of. Oh, like, guess this wrestler, and you get, like, 5 or 6.
You know what I like? I like when you get, like, the $10.
Yeah, I like those ones.
Gotta, yeah.
And you, like, make a stable for $10. I like those
I like that, too.
I thought that was a fun little thing. I saw those last night, and I was like, I didn't get for the 3. I got Cena, and then I got stuck on Jay, and I'm like, no, Jay wasn't at, I guess, Chamber. And then the dude that I said Priest, and then they were like, it's somebody with Priest, and I went, oh, Drew. Priest and Drew basically at every PLE this year fought each other.
I thought Gunther was at everyone.
I guess he wasn't at. Was he on the Chamber? No, Gunther wasn't on the Chamber.
Oh, yeah, because he was the champion at the time.
Because he was the champion
really
at the time. Yeah.
It wouldn't have made sense. Oh, okay. All right, well, do you have any other interesting things?
It was just those 2 little things that I saw, and I was like, I think it'd be a cool way to start off.
That was a cool way to start off. So we are going to...
Going to Backlash.
We're going to go to Backlash.
That you kind of forgot about.
I did forget about it. I had messaged him the night of Backlash. Because I was just...
I think like 2 hours... No, maybe like an hour into it or something.
Yeah.
Because I know the first match was already over with.
It was a busy night trying to get my daughter winded down to get her to sleep and all this stuff.
You had work that day and the next day.
Yeah. And I'm like scrolling through my phone and all of a sudden I see it. One of the things that happened and I'm like, oh, shit.
Because you texted me and I went, you're not missing much. And then I went, oh, shit, yeah, you missed something big.
Yeah. Yeah, so I forgot about it. Yeah. Take my wrestling card.
That's fine. Strike 1, that's fine. It'll be alright.
That's strike 1?
Yeah. For today.
Knowing me for this long, I'm only at strike 1?
For today. It resets every, like, 6 hours.
It should reset every 15 minutes.
You should get a strike for not getting those right.
So, going into Backlash, let's start off with the United States title Fatal 4-Way Championship match between Jacob Fatu, LA Knight, Drew McIntyre, and Damian Priest.
That was a match. I did not see what happened coming at all.
I mean, this is the Backlash review, so we
Right.
could talk about.
I mean, so we can talk about Jeff Cobb coming.
I did not.
I
see
did
that
not see.
coming
And then I'm sitting there going, "Is he?" And then I'm like, "No, we talked about it. He's like Polynesian. I mean, it's right there."
No, I think he's. I think I saw he's Filipino.
I think
too?
he's like Filipino, Polynesian, and like Hawaiian, which are kind of all the same.
But like, just because he's with Solo doesn't mean
Right.
like these guys like Sammy is with like right now, anyways. Jay.
Right. You don't have to be.
CM Punk is with Jay.
You don't
like,
have to be Samoan.
just to tag up with them.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
It's like
That's what everybody. I mean,
sorry, you're not Samoan.
It'd be cool to keep it that way, but obviously you can't do that. I mean,
I know you had Bronson Reed, who has Samoan in his blood as well, but
Right.
like, he's not related to the.
He's not in the Anawani family
Yeah, no, he's.
at all.
But still, he's Polynesian. But still, anyways.
It was cool to see him come though, and even Jacob's like, "The hell is he doing here?" And I'm like, "Oh,
Yo,
man.
that's planting the seeds even more.
Because now Solo's got a new heavy."
He don't need Jacob.
No. Well, Jacob said, "I don't need you" a couple times. I feel like.
Yeah, let's be honest. Jacob, I don't think needs anybody.
No, Jacob doesn't need
saying.
anybody. No,
All gas, no brakes.
all the time.
Yeah, know what I mean?
Jacob did win. He did retain the title.
Yeah.
With help from Solo and a debuting Jeff Cobb. I just forgot his name. I'm hoping they keep his name Jeff Cobb.
I think they will.
But because I saw like 2 days later they trademarked a bunch of names, but I mean they said Jeff Cobb at Backlash.
Yeah.
So
One of the things that stood out is that one sequence that happened when Drew suplexed Jacob off the top rope, but he did like a swanton onto LA Knight.
yeah,
And then he got up and did the running hip thing in the corner to the Drew.
like Samoan whatever.
Then ran the ropes, jumped out on outside of the ring, and then went on the top rope and hit a swanton on the Drew. Like
he's crazy.
when he says all gas no brakes,
He
that's
means
all gas
it.
no brakes.
He
Yeah.
means it.
I'm glad Jacob won though. I know it was like you're in a fatal 4-way with Drew, Priest, LA Knight, but I didn't want to see him lose this.
I feel like LA Knight was like we just have to have him in there because he just had the title.
I feel like if all the stuff didn't go down with Shinsuke, it would have been LA Knight wouldn't even have won that title back. It would have been because remember like
Oh right,
it
with his brother passing.
yeah, but I'm
There's
glad
a lot
Jacob
of talks of him not re-signing Shinsuke.
I mean, he is getting older too. Like
He's getting older. He's doing a lot of dark. Everybody's saying it because he's doing a lot of dark matches. He's doing a lot of dark matches. So what? Who cares?
he's still entertaining the crowd.
right. He's still getting over.
Yeah.
You play his music and everybody's gonna go along with his music.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I like that match though. I really do,
That was a
and
good
I
match.
love how Jacob's still getting built up, and he deserves it. That dude.
SmackDown's gonna be interesting.
fire.
SmackDown's gonna be interesting to see what happens.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Did you see that one picture that they posted like backstage or something? It was with Jacob and Jay holding the
Both
belts.
holding belts.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that. I like that.
Me too.
You're breaking
Jacob
kayfabe.
comes on over to the other.
to the good side.
Well, he comes over
To the
other
good
bloodline.
side. To the good side of the tree.
Yeah, you never know.
That would be cool.
That would be cool.
I don't know how much. I mean, I'm sure Triple H can do it, but I don't know how much longer you can keep like. There's not even really a bloodline story right now.
Not really, no. I mean, the stuff with Solo, but like everything else is gone.
Right.
But, like, can you imagine like if like how we said we thought was going to happen, Sammy might turn on Punk and Jay, and like what if he got helped by Jacob?
That would be good.
And then if I was Seth, I'd be like,
No, I'm good. I don't want. You're cool with me, Sammy. You stay over there though. So the next match of the night was the Women's Intercontinental Championship match of Lyra Valkyria and Becky Lynch. I don't want to say but like...
you did.
Especially the way it ended. Becky just had a temper tantrum because she got pinned.
Yeah. I'm glad Lyra won, though.
No, yeah, she needs to hold on to that title. She needs... I know they were kind of debuted around the same time. She needs just as much of a title reign or presence as Chelsea had with the United States title.
So I'm going to compare her, even though they're two totally different heritages, but I think Lyra is like a Gunther. So when Gunther was the champion, he kept winning, but he didn't talk too much. Lyra doesn't need to talk too much because Gunther was amazing in the ring. Lyra's amazing in the ring. Give her a lengthy run. She deserves it.
I can see that.
I mean, she's gotten better with her talking, obviously. But I don't know. I think that she deserves getting the silver. Becky doesn't need a title, and she knows that.
Doesn't need a title. Yeah, no, she's good. She's already in the Hall of Fame. Should be already in the Hall.
But then after, as you know, like Becky with the attack, put the disarmor on her, wouldn't let go, blah blah blah. It just fits the heel character.
It does. Yeah, it fits the. I do. Like I said before, I like the man heel better than like the man face.
And I gotta admit, I'm a big mark for Lyra. So.
Yeah, you are.
I am. I always been. I don't know why. I can't explain.
Yeah, you are. She's good. I like her. She's good.
Yeah. You better say that. Or you're gonna be R-Truth and I'm gonna be John Cena right now.
That's not gonna happen. Mm-hmm. That's not gonna happen.
What, I can't pick you up?
That's not gonna happen. I'm not gonna let that happen.
You are gonna let
that happen. I'm not gonna let that happen. What happened?
Right through the table.
What happened next?
Right through the table.
What's the next match?
What's the next match? Me versus you.
Yo, it's all Intercontinental titles, I'm just realizing.
It is. Next match, we have the men's Intercontinental title match. Penta versus Dirty Dom Mysterio.
I love this match.
What do you think?
First of all, Penta came out with the blue again. I was like, I don't know what it is, but like
all blue. He looked like a blue Jolly Rancher.
He looked like the girl from Willy Wonka.
Oh my God!
Violet.
You're turning violet.
You're turning violet.
Yeah, that's it. No, that match was absolutely amazing. Penta is insanely good. Dom got so much better.
Oh my God, yeah.
So much better.
His deadbeat dad was doing nothing for him. I'm sorry, but
no, that's it. He was just busy being a deadbeat. That's all.
He was.
Yeah. Judgment Day comes out, try to interfere. They get ejected.
That was funny.
And then we have an appearance from. Are you gonna say his name, or do you want me to?
You could, because I don't know if I remember.
El Grande.
Oh yeah.
Americano.
Oh yeah. Smash Penta in the face.
Yep. Costing Penta the match, and Dom gets the win and retains his Intercontinental title.
See, Dom took the title to Eddie's grave.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Dom's gear was in honor of who?
Psychosis, I believe so, yeah. You see, Zelina also took her title to her dad's grave?
A lot. That's really cool.
Yeah.
I mean, not really cool that her dad's passed, but you know what I'm saying.
Right, but no, wait.
One thing I want to say about Dom is that Dom puts so many famous historic luchadors into his gear. And people don't even realize.
That you wouldn't think, you're like, why would Dom do that?
I don't want to butcher it and not say the names correctly, so I won't. But like, when he wears the boots with the tassels on it, that's after somebody. When he wears like the design on his pants, that's after somebody else. Like, everything on his gear, he still has the freaking Mysterio things.
He still has like Ray's like whatever the birds are.
Yeah, that come down like
they're still on his gear.
So he honors all the luchador, and I think that's the coolest thing ever. Yeah. He's the sleaziest, scummiest
wrestler we've seen in a long time.
Heel that there is.
Yeah.
But he does all this shit, and that honors like where he came from, and that's so super, super cool. But yeah, still champion, which I love.
Yeah,
he deserves it. He deserves to win all the belts.
I know we can't do it now, but if you were able to, did everything go? I know we didn't have predictions because I was on vacation. If we would have did predictions like 2 weeks prior, would you have gotten everything right?
Honestly, yeah. And I'm not saying that because I think that I'm smart. Because I think a lot of the matches were, I don't want to say predictable, but like
basically predictable.
Jacob ain't losing his title yet. No. I'm a homer for Lyra. That could have went either way.
Yeah, right.
That could have went either way, but my homerness, I'm picking Lyra. Dom, I'm just picking because I love his run right now, and I don't think
it's not stopping.
Pat was not beating Gunther.
No, and Orton wasn't beating Cena.
And Orton wasn't beating Cena.
I think if we would have had predictions, everything would have went. Because we would have had the same one.
Literally for the past month, Orton has laid out Cena.
Right. It's the same thing Cody did to Cena before Mania.
Yeah. So I mean, no. But that match was amazing. Probably my favorite match of the night.
Yeah.
Next,
next match though was a shocker. I'm not gonna lie. I knew it wasn't gonna be a squash, but like it went longer and better than I thought.
It did. it was that classic underdog. Like, I'm going to beat the shit out of you, but you're not staying down. And
Right.
eventually, I'm still going to beat you, but...
Gunther versus Pat McAfee. Obviously, Pat McAfee not winning.
And Michael Cole with the cheating tactics.
Yo, that was crazy.
So you know what surprised me about this whole match? Was the fact that Pat was able to take all those chops.
And then he got chopped and blew a blood vessel in his eye.
But after the match,
when Gunther did he shake? He didn't shake his hand, but he was like,
no, he gave like a
he gave like a respect.
Yeah,
that was crazy.
That was because I thought he was gonna attack him.
I thought he was gonna do that, turn around, and then turn back around and just chop the shit out of him.
Yeah, but no, the show of respect. I mean, Gunther is the ring general. So I mean, if you beat him, except for Jay,
yeah,
he doesn't respect Jay though.
For whatever, he doesn't respect Samoans apparently.
No.
Gunther versus Jacob. Yo.
They would beat the shit out of each other.
That match would still keep going and going.
They would have to make it a last man standing match because they would literally beat each other until someone couldn't stand up anymore.
Yeah.
Overall, that match it exceeded my expectations.
It definitely went a lot better than I thought it was going to.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Does that take us right into the undisputed WWE Championship match?
It is. There was only 5 matches.
There was.
And it still went 2.5 hours.
Well, this match, John Cena versus Randall Orton.
It was a good match.
It was a good match.
There was a lot of throwbacks to their previous matches.
Yes, yeah. Security getting involved. R-Truth getting involved, stopping Orton from punting.
I will say, the attitude adjustment into the RKO, I never realized that was a callback. That was a throwback to an older match.
Yeah, because the original one was...
In a last man standing?
It was through a table.
No.
No?
I saw the clip. It was the same exact thing.
Are you sure? Because there was one that was into a table as well. Because I saw a video with Randy Orton and they did the ranking thing. Blind ranking RKOs. And the one was an AA... attitude adjustment into an RKO.
The one I saw was literally, it was in the middle of the ring again. He went to go AA and Orton reversed it into an RKO.
Yeah, because this one went through the table and Orton's like, oh, I'm going to put that at 5 because when you watch it back, I went through the table first, so it really doesn't make sense.
I don't like how they're... Do you think the announcer's table was supposed to break? When he AA'd Cena into the announcer's table?
I don't know.
Because it didn't, and then Cena got up and used it for leverage to stand up, and then it broke. And now I feel like ever since Mania, since it's broken at Mania, it got broke at Mania, it's just back to the regular announcer's table of breaking every week now.
Maybe.
I don't know. I kind of liked it when you were doing stuff on it and it wasn't breaking.
No, I agree. 100%. So what do you think about John retaining?
Somebody said it, and I rewatched the end of it, and I kind of saw his face. There's a lot of talks line of he's regretting doing this heel thing because you can see after the match when he won, he wanted to celebrate, and he wanted to celebrate with Orton, that being their last match, them basically coming up together, and he couldn't do it because of his heel persona. You can see the anguish in his face of I want to celebrate, I want to do what I always did, but I can't because I'm doing this heel thing. I'm glad he won. Obviously, we've said it on here before. We don't think he's going all year with the title. He's definitely not retiring with the title. But I don't know. I don't
see.
We can kind of see where it's going because of what happened on the post show and near the end of the match. But that's not going to be a whole feud for a month.
See, you know what I think should have happened? I'm not saying I'm a better booker than Triple H, but if you let Cena turn heel, sell his soul, kick Cody in the balls, but come out and not berate the fans. Come out and be like, I did what I had to do to get this title.
Some of that seems a little much when he berates the fans.
I did what I had to do to get the title. I'm not saying go back to Thugonomics Cena, but act like that. I'll do whatever I have to. I don't care who you are.
Yeah.
Good guy, bad guy. I'll cheat to win. I'll do whatever I want. Make him the tweener heel. So that way he could celebrate and people will still cheer him, but he could also be an ass and people will boo him. You know what I'm saying? He went too hard at the fans now, and I think maybe
he's starting to regret it. Because maybe now you saying that, maybe now they do a part of the story is he regrets Obviously, The Rock hasn't been there, and The Rock has said, "Fuck you, figure it out by yourself." Like, I'm not coming for whatever reason. But maybe he starts to like regret selling his soul. Maybe he starts to realize, hey, these people did make me, and like I need to be here for them.
Or maybe he gets it to a point where he feels bad and he says, "Cody, you deserve another shot," and that's how Cody gets his belt back.
Maybe he feels maybe the feud with Truth is what makes him feel bad.
What if Truth beats him for the title?
Yo, that'd be crazy.
That'd be amazing.
Because near the end of the match, Orton was going for the punt. Truth came out. No, what are you doing? Don't punt him. Is that right after when everybody came out? Why did everybody come out?
I'm blanking.
Because that wasn't after the match. That was during the match still. Orton.
Because there was a ref bump.
There was a ref bump, and I believe, did Orton hit Cena with the belt? Or Cena was just out for maybe an RKO or something.
Yeah.
And then he was going to go punt him in the corner. Truth came out. No. He gave Truth an RKO, and I think that's when everybody else came out to check on the ref. And you're not punting. Because
I read somewhere that Orton gave out 11 RKOs.
Which makes sense.
5 of them were to Cena.
I mean, it was Aldis. It was Hurricane. It was Jamie Noble. I think P.D. Williams was there. There's some other random dude that oversold, like Shawn Michaels back in the day. And then I think they all left, and that's when Cena, like, maybe low blowed him and AA'd him. I don't remember. I did like the post show. Triple H is talking at the end of the post show. Cena comes out and says something and whispers it to him, and he's like, "All right, the champ's here. I didn't know the champ was going to be here." And then Truth comes in and he's like, "Yo, congratulations. Thanks. That's awesome that you won." And
you saw he broke Cena, though.
Cena started laughing, and he was like, "Truth, if you talk to me again or something, I'm going to put you through the table." I forget exactly what he said, but then Truth was like, "No, like, I'm just here to celebrate." And then he ate something through the table. That was a cool way to end, like, a post-show.
Yeah, it was. I mean, Backlash overall I thought was a pretty good show, but it was short.
It was very short. It was very predictable, very short, which usually the first pay-per-views after Mania are, because you're still trying to get...
You're trying to still set up those rivalries.
Because they're
trying to, like,
if
get
you want to,
stories.
Right. WrestleMania is basically like the season finale of like a normal TV show. You figure WrestleMania is the season finale where stuff, like big stories end and new stories begin. So Backlash, you're always trying to like, hey, this story's not working. Let's see if we can throw something else in there or figure out what else we can do.
Unless you're the SmackDown Tag Team titles and everybody just fights everybody.
That's just phenomenal.
Which I love.
Yeah, that's just a great thing for whatever reason.
But yeah, I feel like things are shaping up, and it's going to be interesting to see where they go with Cena next, because obviously it's done with Orton now, so.
I believe Saturday night's main event is next. It'll probably be a Truth thing. They'll probably do something with Truth.
Do you imagine the pop he's going to get?
Oh my god, it's gonna go over. Maybe that's when like Cody comes back. I don't know how long Cody's out for.
He's just chilling. He deserves it.
He deserves it though.
He does.
So now we will go on to our remembrance of Sabu, Terry Brunk. I know you have a bunch of stuff written down.
Yes, I do.
If you want to start. Actually, before we start any of it, did you ever see Sabu in person? Like in a match in person?
I have not.
I did one time when WWE was doing those ECW shows on like Tuesday nights. They would record. That's still when SmackDown was recorded on Tuesdays, and they would record SmackDown and go live. They would go live into ECW. I was there for a Smack, and literally like that's when they would come through the crowd in the ECW, like and I was right there. I don't remember who he had a match with, but I remember he had a match, and after the match, I put my hand out to like try to see if he would do hands or whatever. But like I remember brushing like his arm, and you just felt like all the scars from like all the barbed wire and all the chairs and everything, and it just felt like you would never imagine. It's gonna sound weird, but you never imagine a person's skin feeling that big because you feel all the bumps from all the scars and all the ripping and all the tearing. But I believe that's my only time I ever saw him like in a live match.
Yeah, I've never seen him, but he definitely innovated some new style of wrestling. That's for sure.
Yeah, he did.
That's for sure. So how do you want to start this? Do you want to?
No, go with whatever, because I just have his Wikipedia pulled up. I'm pretty sure everything you're going to read is probably going to be on here.
Should be on here.
I'll throw in other little things. I do have a different another page pulled up of his 5 most iconic matches. We'll talk about that at the end of it.
So this is going to go through I want to say brief, but just history of Sabu's career, where he wrestled, what different places he did, titles that he's won, things like that. So Terrence Brunk, born December 12th, 1964, known to the world as hardcore icon Sabu. Billed at 6 foot, 235 pounds, he was known for his unique blend of aerial abilities and hardcore wrestling. Trained by his uncle, the Sheik, he began his career in 1985. He started in his uncle's promotion, Big Time Wrestling. First ever billed name was Sabu the Elephant Boy, later dropping the Elephant Boy aspect of the name.
Kind of like that, though.
Hailing from Saudi Arabia. During the rest of the 80s, he wrestled for various indie promotions in Memphis, Michigan, Ohio, Canada, and Hawaii. From 91 to 93, he made numerous appearances for United States Wrestling Association and World Wrestling Federation. He had 3 matches in the WWF, 2 with Scott Taylor and 1 with the late, great Owen Hart. From 91 to 94, in between wrestling for the wrestling of WWF and United States Wrestling Association, he also wrestled in Frontier Martial Arts Wrestling in Japan, where he really got into his own of the hardcore deathmatch scene. From 93 to 95, he was in ECW for his first run there. Got the moniker of the homicidal, genocidal, death-defying man, and at first he didn't speak to keep up kayfabe because his uncle, during his career, the original Sheik, never spoke either. It was just part of the moniker, part of the aura of the character. Being in front of the camera at ECW, having tapings and everything, people heard him talk, people heard him calling spots, people heard him doing this, so they kind of dropped the not talking thing. He was originally hailed from Saudi Arabia, but in ECW it changed to Bombay, India, then it changed to Bombay, Michigan. So he had a little bit of a change there in his career, but Sabu himself, though, was an American, born in America with Lebanese background. So that tied into the whole Middle Eastern aspect of his character. In his second match with the company, ECW, he defeated Shane Douglas for the ECW heavyweight title. He also won at a later time his first ECW television title from Terry Funk, becoming a double champion. In 1995, Sabu no-showed an event, leading him to being fired. He didn't no-show for no reason, though. He actually chose to return to Japan to go back to where he first started. He wrestled for New Japan, then Big Japan, and All Japan Pro Wrestling. He later returned to ECW in 1995 with memorable feuds against Cactus Jack, Stevie Richards, Mr. Hughes, Too Cold Scorpio, and Rob Van Dam. In the early 2000s, he bounced around the Indies for a little bit with a return to Frontier Martial Arts Wrestling in Japan. Between 2002 and 2006, he wrestled for World Wrestling All-Stars in Total Nonstop Action, which we know as TNA. Excuse me. 2006 to 2007, returned to WWE. He's most famous for his match at ECW One Night Stand. We actually talked about this.
We did.
His match against Rey Mysterio Jr. for the World Heavyweight title. The match ended in a no contest, so Rey ended up keeping his belt. But I remember watching that match when it happened, and it was absolutely insane. I told you I actually saw it.
I remember that whole
yesterday,
pay-per-view. Yeah. Like you would that I remember that first One Night Stand because I think Tommy Dreamer even produced it. Like you would never imagine any of that stuff.
But like people didn't think that Ray was capable of doing what he did in that match too. But like Ray even has spent a little time in ECW. Like he's no stranger.
Ray's been here and there, and you know.
That by far is probably, and I know he's had a lot of bangers in ECW, but that might be my favorite Sabu match, him and Ray. From 2007 to 2010, he traveled and competed in a lot of indie promotions, leading into a run in Juggalo Championship Wrestling from 2007 to 2011.
I forgot about that place.
From 11 to 2019, Sabu's career was bouncing between TNA and the indie scene. In 2023, he made his debut for AEW, where he was the special guest enforcer for a match between Adam Cole and Jericho. And on April 18, 2025, Sabu wrestled his retirement match at Game Changer Wrestling, GCW, defeating Joey Janela. That match took place only 3 weeks before his death.
That's crazy. You saying some of his nicknames, I don't know why, but you saying Sabu the Elephant Boy, maybe we're going to look up his other ring names. He went by the Great Sabu, Sabu the Elephant Boy, Samu, Terry SR. This one I kind of like. Terry.
You know what SR is?
I just saw it here.
Sheik's
somewhere.
Revenge.
Yeah, SR standing for Sheik's Revenge. This one I like. Terry Snuka. SNUKA. Terry Snuka. Yeah. Terry Brunk and Sabu of the Jungle, which I like that one too. That's a cool one.
Sabu of the Jungle.
I did want to go over.
Stole that from George.
Yeah. I did want to go over his championships and accomplishments. He was the one-time inaugural BCW Billtown Championship Wrestling Champion. He won the BCW Heavyweight Title Tournament in 2016. He was a one-time Border City Wrestling Canadian American Heavyweight Champion. Before it was Extreme Championship Wrestling, it was Eastern Championship Wrestling. He was a 2-time ECW champ, a 1-time FTW champ, 1-time ECW World Television champ, and a 3-time ECW tag champ, 1 with Taz, 2 with Rob Van Dam. He won King of the Hill, which I didn't know they did a King of the Hill. I thought it was a TV show.
It was. Propane.
And he was the 2nd ever ECW Triple Crown champion. He was a 2-time European Wrestling Association European Junior Heavyweight champion, a 1-time WWA Martial Arts Tag Team Championship with Horace Boulder. He was there's a Hardcore Hall of Fame. He was in the class of 2009. Indie Wrestling Hall of Fame. He was in the class of 2024. International Wrestling Cartel. He was the 1-time Tag Team Champion. This doesn't make any sense. This says International Wrestling Cartel Tag Team Champion 1 time with Eric Ecstasy and JT Rogers. But I don't know why there's 2 names of your tag team. Maybe he was one of them. I don't know.
Maybe it's like the Freebird rule.
Maybe it's like the Freebird rule.
Yeah.
Insane Wrestling Federation. He was the 1-time he was a 2-time heavyweight champ. Juggalo Championship Wrestling. He was a 1-time heavyweight champ. Main Event Championship Wrestling. He was a 1-time Main Event Championship Wrestling APW Hardcore champ. NWA Florida. He was the heavyweight champ 1 time and the independent world champ 1 time. National Wrestling Conference. He was a 2-time heavyweight champ. New Japan Pro Wrestling. He was the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champ 1 time. And he was the 1-time UWA World Junior Light Heavyweight Champion. Pro Wrestling All-Stars of Detroit. He was the Cruiser Core Champion 1 time. Pro Wrestling Holland Champion 1 time. Pro Wrestling Illustrated, which I love that book. I like watching the PWIs every year.
Oh yeah.
He was number 5 of the top 500 singer wrestlers in PWI in 1995. And he was ranked 86 of the top 500 singer wrestlers of PWI in 2003. Professional Championship Wrestling, he was a 1-time television champ. New Evolution Wrestling, he was a 1-time Newfoundland Heritage Champion. Propane, not propane like the gas, it's Pro-Pain. Pro Wrestling.
King of the Hill Propane, see?
He was a 1-time...
Full circle.
He was a 1-time 3PW World Heavyweight Champion. Stampede Wrestling is a 1-time Stampede Pacific Heavyweight Champion. TNA, he was the TNA... He had a 1-time TNA Year-End Award for Match of the Year with Abyss and the Barbed Wire Massacre. I love those matches. The Barbed Wire Massacre matches he had with Abyss are really, really good. UPW, he was a 2-time American champion. USA Pro Wrestling, 2-time Pro Heavyweight Champion. Wawin Wrestling Champion, he was a 1-time Hardcore Champ. Wrestling Alliance Revolution, was a 2-time World Extreme Champion. World Wrestling Council, he was 1-time, it says 1-time final, I don't know, maybe he was 1 and only. The WWC Hardcore Champion, he was the 1-time Universal Heavyweight Champ. He was the 2005 Bruiser Brody Memorial Cup World Wrestling League, he was a one-time Extreme champion. Wrestling Observer Newsletter, he was the reader's favorite wrestler in 1994. Extreme Intense Championship Wrestling, he was a one-time Extreme champion. Extreme Latin American Wrestling, he was a one-time X-Law International champion. And Extreme Pro Wrestling, he was a one-time XPW World Heavyweight champion. I didn't realize there was that many, like... Did you notice a lot of them, too? He was, like, the hardcore champ of that promotion. That was kind of cool.
No, that was. He had a lot more accolades than I even thought.
I remember, when you said it, I remember his feud with Jerry the King Lawler, when he was like, Jerry King was like, oh, you're suicidal, homicidal, dance recital, right? Is that what the last one was? I have another website, and this is Remembering Sabu, 5 most iconic matches of the ECW legend. They have number 5 with him and Taz versus Public Enemy in ECW's Double Tables. The unlikely on-screen duo of Taz and Sabu teamed up to challenge Public Enemy, Johnny Grunge, and Rocco Rock for the ECW Tag Team Champions. The match took place at ECW Double Tables event in 1995. It was a sight of absolute carnage, from broken tables to the use of foreign objects, and it was a stellar showdown. However, Sabu and Taz failed to win the titles that night. I didn't know they had a pay-per-view called Double Tables. That's how every match should have ended. Number 4 was Rob Van Dam at WrestlePalooza in 1998. Rob Van Dam and Sabu had one of the most exciting matches at the 1998 ECW WrestlePalooza event for the ECW World Television Champion. They displayed excellent on-screen chemistry alongside the brutality of the promotion's environment. The match ended without a winner, as it ended in a 30-minute time limit draw. I think this is a lot of one that a lot of people talk about. Taz, Barely Legal in 1997. This was a match 1 year in the making, ECW's first ever pay-per-view, and lived up to its expectations. Sabu and Taz hit each other with every move in their arsenal and used the entire ECW environment to their advantage. In the end, Taz made him submit to the Taz mission to win the match. Post the bout, he shook hands with Sabu as a sign of respect, followed by the betrayal by RVD and Bill Alfonso, which took the storyline further. That's why I remember it, because it was their first pay-per-view. I remember a lot of people talking about that match. Number 2, probably one of my favorites, because I know you said the One Night Stand. Abyss and the TNA Barbed Wire Massacre matches. They had a lot of them. The first ever Barbed Wire Massacre was held by TNA at their Turning Point event between Sabu and Abyss in 2005. It was one of the most brutal matches in TNA history, and with both stars fighting inside the confines of barbed wire, Sabu provides his hardcore worth outside ECW and won the bout against Abyss. I feel like that's another, like, when you think of Sabu, you think of barbed wire.
Yeah.
He was always throwing up chairs around. There was countless barbed wire matches where the ropes were changed in the barbed wire. I even believe his last match was a barbed wire match.
Yes, it was it was no ropes, barbed wire.
Yeah, no ropes, barbed wire. Then their number 1 match is against Terry Funk at ECW Born to be Wired 1997. One of the most memorable matches in Sabu's career was against his fellow ECW legend Terry Funk at the Born to be Wired event in 1997. It was also a barbed wire match that probably defined Sabu's career and one of the most gruesome matches in the history of the company. The night Sabu defeated Funk after an absolute stunner to become the new ECW World Champion. It's like we said, every match, when you think of barbed wire or you think of Sabu, they basically coincide.
It's barbed wire or it's chairs.
Because I would remember he would always take the chair and just throw it at whoever.
Yeah. He had, I can't even remember some of his signature moves, but it was the Arabian Face Buster was one of them.
And I remember he would always set the chair up in the ring too and jump off the chair to go outside.
I used to try to do that when I was a kid. Like, I would do that off my off a dining room chair onto my couch.
Now thinking about it, that's what Mark Briscoe does. I mean, he doesn't do it in the ring, but he always sets up a chair and basically does the same thing. I bet you it's like in an homage to Sabu.
Oh, a lot of wrestlers that people think they steal moves. They do.
It's not. It's more of an homage.
They do it out of respect. That's
even last night on TNA, Jesus. Last night on AEW, Taz had a nice little trick. You could hear Taz getting choked up.
Yeah.
And they had to Excalibur had to stop and put his arm on him because Taz didn't want to break character but knew it would have been okay to do it.
Well, everybody knew that their relationship that they had together, so.
Oh God, yeah, because they were both. I think they were both in TNA at the same time too.
And I like what Taz said, that Sabu was Aura before.
Yeah, Aura. Before Aura was like a thing. Yeah.
Like, soon as you heard that music, soon as you saw him come in with the turban and the...
Because you knew it was going to be crazy.
Yeah. Always the colorful pants, but the bigger pants, like the...
like...
I want to say Aladdin type pants.
Like MC Hammer type pants, like parachute pants.
And then just the one thing right across here, the tape with Sabu written on it.
So there's a footnote that I'm reading on his wiki that says Sabu's first reign occurred while the promotion was an NWA affiliate named Eastern Championship Wrestling and was prior to the promotion becoming Extreme Championship Wrestling and the title being declared a world title by ECW. Sabu held the title again after these events, but the title was not officially sanctioned by ECW.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
Well, I know the FTW title wasn't officially sanctioned, but I didn't realize before it was ECW, they didn't really, like, name it ECW.
That man has had one hell of a career, though. He really did. And to pass away 3 weeks after your retirement match, that's crazy.
Maybe, I wonder if, like, maybe he was like, I'm good, like, I fulfilled my life. I can go. I don't have to do whatever. Because we don't want to talk about the other stuff that was...
No, I don't want to talk about the negative stuff around it.
Negative stuff. If you guys want to look it up, you can look it up. We're not going to do it here.
No. I mean, we'll go for rumors, but we'll go for rumors just to an extent, you know? Like, rumors Joe Henry signing with WWE, not rumors about a man's passing.
Right.
So,
you guys can look that stuff up if you want to.
But honestly, if we want to go a different route, not rumors or something, but like, what if he had a heart condition? Kind of Bray did. And that last match just kind of put him over the edge, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, you never know. It could be anything that happened.
He also had the Arabian Skull Crusher for a finisher. Sabu was nicknamed the suicidal, homicidal, genocidal, death-defying maniac due to his mixed style of high-flying and hardcore wrestling. Some of his moves included using a steel chair. Like the Air Sabu, a heel kick to a cornered opponent with the assistance of a heel chair. I didn't know it's called Air Sabu. That's really cool.
That is kind of cool.
The Arabian Face Buster, jumping, diving, or somersault leg dropping, driving a steel chair into the face of the opponent, or the Arabian Skull Crusher, jumping, diving, or a somersault leg drop into a steel chair into the back of the opponent's head, usually through a table. Trained by his uncle, the original Sheik, he also used the Arabian Clutch, a camel clutch, as a move. Sabu's character rarely spoke, however, he claimed he had to do the most talking he ever did in WWE. Sabu was created as a revolutionary due to his work in ECW, which obviously we know.
Yeah, but a lot of that hardcore stuff originated from Japan.
Right.
Because that even happened with like Funk.
I mean,
Cactus, all those people.
When Foley went to New Japan in the 80s and stuff, yeah.
It wasn't just New Japan, it was some of the other places that like they were having death matches and stuff.
New Japan, All Japan, the like barbed wire death matches.
Yeah. Some crazy stuff.
AEW failed pulling off. That is it, though. We just wanted to give our flowers to Sabu.
Yeah. He was definitely influential on me being a wrestling fan growing up, 100%.
I remember, like I said, I distinctly remember the feud with him and Jerry Lawler, because I remember Jerry Lawler calling him, like, dance recital, and then him going crazy on Lawler. But, like I said before, this is probably the first... There's been passings of us doing our show, our podcast, but this is the first, like, one that we can remember through a bunch of different eras, through a bunch of different... I remember watching him on ECW, WWE, TNA. Mm-hmm. I remember him coming in for that AEW show.
Yeah, me too.
And I felt... We felt like it needed to not just be in the news, it needed to be its own special thing.
Yeah. 100%. Not taking away from anybody else that passed away or anything like that, but I don't think that we could have done them justice on talking about their careers, because for all the things that we've both watched and seen from him, from Sabu, like, yeah, I know we wrote a lot of stuff down, but that's just so we can convey everything properly. Because you've seen us talk.
Yeah, I would rather...
And trying to read. We would mess it up, and that would... You know,
I've been trying to write more, like, I don't want to say scripts, but more like, so that I can read it verbatim, so I'm not trying to remember stuff a lot more.
Especially things like this, because I want to be able
to
say things correctly and,
100%.
And get the point across, and how valuable he was between the promotions he worked in and going over his accolades and stuff. I feel like sometimes it's okay to have a little bit of a script.
No, it's definitely, especially things like this, because you don't want to get something like this wrong.
Like, obviously, Backlash review, there's no script because we're just going off the top of the dome.
Right, we're just remembering what happened. It was literally not even a week ago. Yeah, that was all. We just wanted to show our respects, give our flowers.
So, honestly, that's why we wanted to just do this and kind of go over the guy's career. Because, like we said before, without repeating ourselves over and over again, it's just a wrestler that we grew up watching. We grew up entertained by, and we both kind of fell in love with the
style.
The style. I mean, if I had to talk about who made me like hardcore wrestling, it's going to be Sabu. It's going to be Cactus Jack. Probably Terry Funk. Those three. Mick Foley, Cactus Jack, whoever you want to call them.
Yeah.
Those three guys. Really? Just beating the crap out of each other. Sandman, too. I mean, he's not the best wrestler in the world.
I mean, you could probably, like, any of those, like, original ECW guys in there. Van Dam, Taz.
Yeah, very true, very true. So, yeah. I don't know. We figured that this was a good thing to do. Good thing to do.
Which it was. So, yeah. Well, I mean, we'll miss you, Sabu. You were always... I knew when you were coming out, I knew something crazy was going to happen. So, thanks for joining us this week. And if you guys did see Sabu, remember anything of Sabu, put down below, like, what you remember from him, from being on TV, from being in so many promotions. Or, Sabu from the Jungle, because I think that's my new favorite nickname for Sabu now.
I don't know, the Elephant Boy.
The Elephant Boy was cool, too.
I'm not going to lie.
That was a cool one.
I think, honestly... to end this show, there should be one proper thing to do.
Oh, there really should be.
Before we do it.
We can only end it one way.
Yeah.